If Stranger Things got one thing right, it's this. The thing that takes men out doesn't show up swinging. It isolates you and it feeds on shame. And today we're going to show you how to spot your Vecna before it steals another year. We're talking Netflix. We're talking Stranger Things. We're talking Snoop. And the conversation starts right now, live on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle improves blood flow.
From squirting to squirreling.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good?
Doesn't come from breaking the rules, you guys. All right. Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, your live morning show experience for real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversations. It's the Friday after Christmas, baby. It is Boxing Day, which means the schedule is looser, but the conversation stays awesome. Before we go any further, guys, hello. Help us grow this thing. Help us grow this community. Help us grow this awesome live channel. I got an invitation for you. Hang tight. Here it comes. Like it. Subscribe it. Drop a comment. Come say hi. Come say hi to Melissa. We got Neiman in the community. We got Sullivan in the community. Holward, I know you're out there as well, and I know you're out there as well, Charlie. And hey, where are you joining us from this morning? And more importantly, do you feel rested? Or are you just done with people already? Neiman, I am. I was on my way home yesterday, and I said to Lauren, I said, I just need a social break. So today, when the show is done, I'm working with my team. And then I'm just shutting the rest of the world out because I need some, hey guys, when you're an introvert, yeah, true story, me, you kind of do that social thing and you like it and it's fun, but then you're done. Holroyd, hey guys, check it out, man. Adam Holroyd's got the OG, brand new icon. Look at that, Neiman. Look at that there, Jimmy. Look, ASH, Adam S. Holroyd. I love it, Holroyd. I love the icon, brother. Looking really great. And so, yes, today we are excited, exceptional Bushy. I'm done with people. I'm just getting started with you, Keith. Yes, we got exceptional here, Neiman. We got exceptional here, Jimmy. And we know, hey, exceptional. Are you like right hand, left hand, a little bit of both? Just wondered. Because I know you enjoy your time with us here on the show. So I don't know if you are a switch hitter. I don't know if you're a pitcher, if you're a catcher, or if you just like to use the right arm when you need to. Hey, this is an R-rated experience. Sometimes, guys, it gets to become an X-rated experience. So if their kids are around, you might want to tell the kids this might be a show that might teach them a few things along the way. Yes, Neiman, I will not encourage them. Yes, I will, because I'm a live host who likes bringing the trolls into the show. Yes, there's a skill set with that. I hear you, Holroyd. Socialization does wear the battery out pretty quick. And today's the day I could not be more excited to get back on the show with you guys and have some fun conversations. Hey, here is where we are headed today. We got a few stories floating around on the interwebs. Don't know if they're AI written, human written, or just a bunch of crazy content out there, but we got some fun stuff to get into here today. Leadership missteps, internet chaos, weird science headlines, and like, hey, did you know that if you pick your nose? I got something for you. Yeah, true story. Get your fucking finger out of your nose. I know right now you're thinking about it. I know I'm just digging. Yeah, we're talking picking noses here today. Yeah, true story. John Petrocelli, the resident bullshit professor. Drop it into center stage with Petro's principles. We're going to look forward to finding out what that's about. We're talking first principles thinking today. And guys, we're going to get into talking Stranger Things, the men's mental health situation with that show. We got, what else we got here today, guys? We also got some Snoop Dogg stuff. Netflix bombed yesterday, guys. It's funny, we talked about it on the show yesterday. Was Netflix going to bomb yesterday? Well, they did. They were stuttering, but I still love it because they are pushing forward around live content and we are right behind them. So, hey, Netflix, you guys need a morning show platform? Hey, come knock on Keith and Johnny's door. Yes, Johnny's here today, guys. He's back in the cabin house. So we got John showing up here today as well. Hey, morning focus. I got something for you men, for you dads this would be a conversation we might want to have the boys listen to. I'm going to touch on something a lot of men don't really get into until it's almost too late. How your relationship with your dad changes over time. It's going to be a deep one, guys. I've been thinking about it, spending some time with my dad this weekend. Somebody who I have a lot of love for, our own very much Jimmy lost his father a few months ago before Christmas, and I cannot imagine how difficult Christmas was for those of you that did have fathers, have had fathers, or have an older father. So we're going to talk about the love we have for our dad and the way that, man, it's just how our relationship changes. Because when we're 18, when we're 20, when we're 40, when we're 60, our relationship changes along the way. We're going to talk about it here on the show. And coming up, Maya Reyes, bottom of the second hour, getting after it with the community corner. So, hey, Jimmy, Melissa, Petro, Sully, I guess exceptional Bushy too. Let's get it going because the morning loop, it starts right now.
Good morning, nation. We made it past Christmas Day and the rooftop is still standing. Jimmy said Keith was full and tired yesterday. Not tired like sleep, tired like defeated by food. And John had a power out Christmas yesterday. Candlelight, cold air, still acting like it was a feature. That's the lesson. Stuff breaks, plans break, you don't. You pivot and keep the standard. Also, we're not waiting until Monday to reset. Reset is a decision, not a calendar date. One small win today, water, walk, clean desk. One message you've been avoiding, that's the restart. All right, lock in, we're live, we're moving, and the morning loop starts right now.
Yes, it is exciting to be on the ground floor, Sully. Just think where we're going to be in 1 year from now. How big this platform is going to be, how big the show is going to be. I've been thinking. I like to do an exercise every now and then, which is imagine time forward and use language what it feels like when you are forward. It is a fun exercise, right? So if you sit back and say, okay, we're sitting here on December 26, 2026, what has achieved instead of what are you going to achieve? It's a fun exercise to go through. Hey guys, you guys can join the show with us live right now or in the mornings in the live community. To join the show live, I got a phone. You know that thing you just those DTMF tones? Those tones that just kind of, those sultry DTMF tones. Well, you guys can join the show that's live right now. 431-300-3005. 431-300-3005. Phone, text, or leave a voicemail. John's in the lab today, so John will not be taking the phone lines up. Yeah. So, and if you're not watching the show live, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're lazy. I'm sorry you like to hit the snooze button. Oh, did I say snooze button? Yeah, so we don't stand for snooze buttons here in the lab. If you're hitting that snooze button, you are 9 minutes behind the guys who is not. And I know that Sullivan does not hit the snooze button, nor does Holroyd, because they're up every single day. It's 7:30. They're up before, but they're getting after with Matt Roof at 7:30 Eastern time right here on the network. Kindness Rising. Matt had a great show today, some great conversations about just getting life moving forward through kindness. So guys, this is the network. We call it Mornings in the Lab. It gets going 7:30 Eastern time. Coming up at the bottom of the hour at 9:30 Eastern time, big conversation about dad. And then, hey, some new shows coming up in the new year. Brianna Bass. Yes. No, Neiman, help me. No safe words, I think is what it is. No safe words with Brianna Bass coming up. The Feed. John Kraske, Brooks Woodar, and Geraldine Spurnaway. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a show coming up about the craziness happening in the social feeds. That is a show dropping in the early part of 2026 as well. All right, so let's get into some conversational desk content. Jimmy, I think we're going to start with. I want to keep the nose picking discussion with Andersen, and I want to keep the exact time most people die with Andersen. So we're going to start this one off with X is letting. Hey guys, so we talked a couple of days ago about photography, and you got half of humanity that is no. Let me rephrase this. We got a bunch of humans that are just editing, just editing shit all along. Right. And then you got all these tools that say you can edit. And now humans are preferring computational photography over real photography. They're like, no, I like the filters. So I'm just wondering, X lets you edit anyone's image. You could take any image off the platform and make it yours. Add things, remove things. Sterling Preston, what the hell is that all about?
This is like letting strangers key your car, then parking the video under your name. X called it a feature. Glaze and Nightshade did not stop it, and the workaround is turning art into crappy GIFs. That is the choice.
So here is the move. Previews only, watermark hard, keep a portfolio site. If they want the full piece, earn it.
So I find this quite humorous that it's a feature. Yes, you can get onto the platform and you actually can make any image yours. Just as simple as that. And just to be honest, you guys, X is awesome. Grok is awesome. If you're looking for a great chatbot, I certainly could not encourage you enough to use Grok. Try it out. But I find this quite humorous. You actually can get onto the platform and use any of their images and make them yours. Just by actually editing it and adding anything to it. So we talked about how Nano Banana lets you do anything, but X now is like, yeah, I don't care if you took that legitimate picture and make it illegitimate by adding whatever you want to it. And if you remember, guys, we talked about this last week. I'm sorry, 2 days ago, whatever it was. If a photo, and I had this conversation with my family a couple days ago over Christmas, if a photo looks too real, it's probably too real. If a photo is eliciting some kind of emotional response from you, you might want to pause. You know, photography and editing photography with tools like Nano Banana and X has gotten so good where the days of the 4 fingers, 6 fingers is rapidly moving away. And we're needing to look really closely at the images, you know, to trust it, what they call our gut, that emotional response. Like, maybe this image is trying to convince me to do something because it looks too perfect. Maybe this image is trying to get me to react because it's just something about it is just so you know, perfect again. So I would invite you guys to be leaning into, you know, your gut response, your emotional response, and question everything as we move forward, especially on the X platform, because more than ever, I would suggest to you that with this feature, go take my image and edit it. It could create a bunch of non-truths, real truths, and alternative truths. But here's a truth I want to offer all of you. Oh, how about that for a segue, Neiman? Guys, you want truth? You want facts? You want trustworthy content? Live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on the Mornings in the Lab Network. We get up, get after it, and give you guys content that you can trust. How do I know? Because I go and vet it myself. I take our role and responsibility quite highly. And I know that if we're going to drop some good content out there, you guys need to know you can trust it. Dillard, good morning. Good to see you there in the comments in the community. What's going on, Dillard? Where are you joining us from this morning on the Mornings in the Lab Live Network? And we got Holward in here as well. I'm excited to see Brooke back. Yes, she was one of the first guests when I started watching the show. Wait a minute, Brooke? No, I'm talking Brianna Bass. Brooke Swadar. Yes, we got Brooke Swadar. We're doing the feed with Brooke. All right, Jimmy, I see the dog sitting there. We got him. He's back in the saddle. Oh, I feel like we got to play the song. The boys are back together again. You know when you spend time with somebody and then you don't spend time with somebody and you're kind of like, I'm kind of craving his company. Well, I've been craving Andersen's company. I have, true story. And I'm looking forward to welcoming you in. We're going to hang out for a couple hours here this morning with you guys and get after it. We're going to talk farms. We're going to talk Bilbo. No, I didn't say dildo. I said Bilbo. But Jimmy, let's bring in John. Let's get the show rolling, brother. Let's do it. Johnny?
What's up, brother?
I'm waiting for your comments. I know you got one coming. Is that mid chemo John? Is that chemo John, or is that looking stronger John?
You know, I've come to realize it doesn't make a difference what I say. So why say anything?
I love you, man.
You know, it's like you could say something enough times and it's kind of like, okay, you said it. Nobody's hearing it.
Good morning, Dillard from Illinois. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and John. John got a truck today. Yes, John upscaled the truck over the holidays. We got rid of the yellow Beetle. Brother, how are you, man? You've had a week of travels. All this stuff is starting to slow down. How you feeling today, pal?
Fuck, I'll tell you, it took a long. The reason I'm late to get here is because Jesus Christ, I'm back at my home at the lake house.
Yeah.
And but I still haven't really adapted to this new movement schedule, meaning the time of transit and shit. I start coming out here. I'm like, Christ Almighty, this is taking me a long time. I'm fucking peg lugging it out here with a fucking cane. I'm on a cane today, which is better. I mean, yesterday was a fuck day. Holy shit.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
So weird, dude. I mean, I get myself to the point where I feel really, it's like I'll have days where like it was Christmas Eve day.
Yes.
I didn't touch a cane or a crutch all day. And I was like, this is fucking great, And there's always kind of phases where it does this, but they were very minor. Right?
Yes.
Well, and I was like, I think I'm coming out of the woods. And I woke up the next fucking morning. I went to go stand up. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I mean, it was like starting blocks. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Well, we were talking just on text the last couple of days, and I said it's mom's energy. And whether it's placebo because you're with mom and lots of love and it was feeling great because you were spending time with mom.
Unfortunately, I was with her when the day went fucking,
Andersen, you wrecked my whole philosophy.
But I agree with you in the regards that I think that there's a certain level of, because the first day that I really got some steam, or started really working on my direction was a day where I spent with her, and we were really chilled. Nice. So there's no question that kind of just, my energy slowing down was a big part of it.
Yeah.
I just this nerve, it responds to anything,
dude.
So.
We're gonna be installing a moving walkway between John's two houses there at the lake house, so John can get out of his one house and get on the walkway and get to the show here in time. So guys, subscribe to the channel, chip in some money on the board there. We'll go buy John a moving walkway so we can get John to the show at an accelerated pace. Hey, dude, I know you guys had some crazy weather out there in Cali. What's the weather like out at the lake house there? Has it been pretty good or not bad? Or you guys didn't get hit there?
Perfect out here, which kind of like I can see that it was raining like a motherfucker when we weren't here.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's by the time we got here, it's not a cloud in the sky.
Well, because a lot of that weather was more coastal, wasn't it, John? That's because you're more inland. You're very much inland there, so that was more coastal, was it not? Like that bad weather and all that shit. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, hey, we drove through a lot of it.
That's what I thought. So you're gonna be proud of me. I called you out last night in love at my family's. I was at Lauren's mom and dad's for dinner last night, and my mother-in-law makes just incredible Christmas dinner, dude. Like her palate and the food that she makes. Oh my God. But man, I had my plate, and I'm serious, man, because I talked about it with the family. I said, I could sense self-sabotaging behavior happening. True story. And I was like, oh no, I feel pretty good. Do I need more? No. If I go put this plate away right now, I will prevent all self-sabotaging behavior. And John, it's exactly what I did. I had a little bit of a second round. I got a little bit of treat of something I enjoy because I never have it. And then I said to myself, I'm done. And I literally said to some people, they said, you're not having more? I said, no, because right now I'm in a stage, like literally I'm in a stage at this moment in time where I can sense some self-sabotaging behavior happening. I'm going to go crush a bunch of shitty food and it's going to be done in seconds. And then I'm going to feel horrible and I'm going to feel worse tomorrow. And John, I didn't do it, man. I'm so fucking proud of myself. True story, man. Honest to God.
Well, one of the things that's really cool about that is you put yourself on Front Street.
Yes.
When you tell everybody, hey, I don't want to be a fucking idiot.
Yes.
It's much easier not to go be an idiot.
Well, that's basically what I said. I was sitting across from my aunt and I said, you know what? She goes, you're going to go for more. I said, you know what? Right now, I'm feeling like I'm on a path to self-sabotage. It's exactly what I said. I said, I feel like I'm on a path to self-sabotaging behavior because I can go crush some more. And right after that, I'm going to feel shitty. So I'm not going to do it. I got up, I took my plate to the kitchen, washed it off and put it in the sink. And I walked away and I've never done that, Andersen. True story, man. I was like, okay, because I knew it and I talked about it. And
huge. And it sounds like not that she had anything but love in her statement, but you could go get some more. Like everybody's doing it.
Yeah. Well, so what happened was I watched others not do the same thing because I said it out loud that I can see myself going down a path of self-sabotage.
Well, because nobody was aware it was coming.
That's what I mean, right? So, and it didn't mean not enjoying my mom's food. It did not mean having more than I normally had, and it did not.
You know what it meant, brother? It meant enjoying the rest of the fucking evening.
That's exactly
because you didn't fuck yourself up.
And this morning I didn't. Sir, yeah, my gut is crappy because I had 2 days of just food that I normally don't eat, right? But I in the past I would have been much worse than I was today. True story. Like I was like, no, I'm gonna be diligent to this. So, hey, I found something fun for us.
What do you got?
Did you know that a mouse study reveals what might trigger Alzheimer's, and it has to do with picking your nose? Sterling, Preston, let's talk about it.
If you are a nose picker, listen up. Scientists found in mice, damaged noses gave germs a shortcut to brain overnight. The bug can ride the olfactory nerve within about 72 hours. And it triggered more amyloid beta, an Alzheimer-like marker there.
This is not a diagnosis, it is a warning. Stop tearing tissue, use saline, and keep blood pressure, sleep, workouts tight.
Sorry. It says if you're picking your nose there, you could actually have, so researchers, Johnny, exposed mice. And I know we always do tests on mice, but they exposed it to the respiratory bacterium Chlamydia pneumoniae, which is known to infect humans and has been found in many brains of people with late onset dementia. And I guess apparently when the nasal lining is disrupted, the bacteria can travel up your nose. So nose picking might be discouraged along the way. And let's just have an honest chat, man. As a young man, I know I grew up picking my nose, and I think we all did. I had a guy who I sat with in class, Johnny, picked his nose nonstop and just chowed down on it. Just pick chow.
Yeah, that's fucking nasty, dude.
Oh, we both.
I've seen I rarely get fucking grossed out by something like this.
Yes,
One time it was, I don't know how old I was.
Yeah,
probably in the peak of not getting grossed out. Like I'm pull up to a fucking stop sign. This old, and it could have been a good looking chick, might not have done the same thing, but it's this old lady, and just not very appealing looking. Driving kind of a whoopty car. There was just nothing appealing. Yeah. And she basically looks up in her rear view mirror, then basically goes up in her fucking nose, right?
Yeah.
And digs on it. Yeah. Pulls it out, looks at it, and then just like you could see her fucking just chewing on it. I was like, oh. It was the way that she ate it. If she just licked it off there, it might have been different.
Oh,
the way that she attacked it was like, oh my God.
You got my gag reflex happening as you described
the same thing to me. I was like, holy shit. That was like something I did not expect.
It's incredible because I'm the same way. Like a nose picking or the mucus, and I see that my gag reflex happens. Yet you're like, hey, go Bills, go pick up your dog's dog shit. I'm like, not a problem. But yet the moment
you could pick your nose and lick it off of there, no problem. But you start fucking attacking it like a fucking rat attacks a piece of cheese, it's gonna sick me out.
Maddie Roof is joining us in the community. Hey Roofy, I sent you a note, man. You want to jump here at 9 o'clock? You come join me and Johnny here. We had a girl in class we called the nose picker finger licker.
Well, here's the question of this study, right?
Yeah.
So everybody sticks their finger in their nose now and then, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But was there a good baseline of this study? Was the Petra, if you're listening to this, you might give me some backup or some sort of direction here. But was the baseline of this study were some of these fuckers working in some sort of an amphetamine factory or God knows what?
Oh, yeah.
Because, or were they cocaine users? There's so many other things that could be fucking up the nostril other than the finger.
Yes.
Was all that ruled out.
Yeah. You said cocaine. It's funny when you watch a few people on, you see people on at press conferences or people doing shit, and you're like, did the guy just do a line? Did the guy just do a line or something? Because you could just see some of the mannerisms. Like I've been there. I've done my share along my lifetime, and you're like, oh, okay. I think that guy might have sniffed the line there. So because you could just see the way they react. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean the way we react to what?
No, like after somebody does a line of coke, and you can see like the way they play with their nose or sniffing nose and cleaning nose, and there's a mannerism after somebody's recently done a line, and if you watch them, if you've seen it enough times, you can pull it out. It's fucking obvious as anything. So
rarely does someone have a thing with their picking out, kind of making their nose comfortable again.
Yeah. Yes.
Like they do if they're not a user.
It's exactly. Coming up, John Petrocelli coming up in a few minutes. We're going to talk first principles and Petro's principles, a few things. Hey, Johnny, did you get your dog? You look like you smoke crack. Mads 00992. Nah, I may have tried it a few times in my youth. I'm here to tell truth. I'm not here to hide behind truth. I may have tried it a few times in my youth, but no, I have not been down that path for fucking 30 some odd 40 years. Johnny, did
this little guy thinks he's throwing he thinks he's throwing some dirty shit.
And I'm like,
man, you can't hurt us with that noise. All you're doing is pumping our algorithm, dude. Keep that shit coming. Come on.
No, I'm 53. I've been down a few journeys in life, and one of those.
Oh my God! Some random guy says I smoke crack. I better go kill myself.
Hey, did you get your? I know you just got home back to the lake house. I got my Cardio Miracle pack from from Jason
I
Hill.
got mine too.
Yeah, and I know Petro's been trying his, so I'm going to get mine started as well. Exceptional. You're built like a brick shithouse. Maybe you are exceptional, built like a brick shithouse. I'm glad to have you here in the comments with us this morning. Hey, Johnny, I got something for you as well this morning. I got a question for you. What do you think is the exact time most people die?
That's a good question. I mean, I think it has its kind of purpose driven when that whatever they feel their purpose is, whatever their programmed purpose is.
Interesting.
And, yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. Like, I mean, I watch my dad, the dad who raised me. I mean, he was fucking hanging on by a goddamn thread, but he was like, it chewed him up. I mean, he couldn't even get to the bathroom by himself. But when everybody got there, and there was a night where everybody was in that room and we were all talking to him, the next morning he was gone.
The internet wants an exact time. Hospice nurse Julie says many deaths cluster 2 to 5 a.m., usually. It is biology and psychology. Body is at its daily low, and the quiet room stops fighting you. Not a damn prediction. Some people wait for family, some wait for privacy. Your job is presence, not panic.
Between 2 and 5 a.m., Johnny, the professionals refer to this span as the letting go hour. And sometimes it gets even between 6 to 8 a.m., but it's basically the overnight hours when when our brain, and Johnny, Petro, I don't know if this is bullshit or not. This is coming from a hospice, this is from professionals from the industry, but the thought is that between 2 and 5, that is when people are passing. So does that, based on what you have lost in life, John, does this sound surprising to you, or does this confirm your beliefs or thoughts? Or I'm thinking of my own, I'm thinking of my own, that some people that I've lost in my life have died overnight. I wake up and they're dead.
Yeah. I mean, it's hospice people, man. They fucking get it, dude.
I know.
I swear to God. I mean,
because they're living with death, John. Think about it.
They see it. They enough. It's like, it's like recognizing, someone. You can recognize certain problems. I can recognize certain problems. Those fuckers recognize death coming down the pipe.
Yes.
Every time I've had a hospice in my life, or whether it was a direct contact or indirect, say, hey, there's not much time. I mean, a couple of it's like, what do you mean? It doesn't seem like there's any change. And then just fucking, they just see the signals before we do.
Well, but it makes sense, right? No different than, the expert you are. You're an expert in your discipline, right? And when they see the same things, the same patterns repetitively, it's probably not too surprising that
guaranteed. Guaranteed.
If anything, I think Sullivan says it best here, right? Which is that, we should always be expressing gratitude just for waking up and never be afraid to say I love you to somebody. Coming up at the bottom of the second hour, guys, I got a conversation about our dads and the relationship we have with our dads. You're not going to want to miss that one. And I think this relates to it as well, because, you think to yourself, okay, well, my dad's at such and such age. I'm going to see him over the next 3 years or 2 years or 1 year. Well, no, if you only see him once a month, that's 12 times you might see him. Right. So I think sometimes we forget about that, John, is that you think, so back to your mom, right? You think that, you say to yourself, okay, well, mom's got a lot of time left, regardless of what that age is. But if we break it down to visits, maybe not.
You're not going to hear me. You're not hearing me say that.
Yeah.
Mom's
No, I know you're
not.
not.
Time left.
Yeah.
Mom doesn't have. I mean, fuck. I think her parents lived to be there slightly after mid 90s, like 96, 97.
Yeah.
She's 90.
Wow.
It's not many. I mean, if you put that in spectrum of her life, that's like what, 6%, 7% left. That's
so I've never had this conversation with my dad, and I suspect you haven't with your mother. But I'll be honest, I'm kind of scared to have it. But what is your brain thinking when you're at that age, knowing that you're kind of on the further side of life, not on the earlier side of life? Like, are you acknowledging that it's almost over? Are you thinking about, like, I just wonder, like, I'm serious. Like
dude, my brother and I had that same conversation.
He's
going through a divorce, right?
Yeah.
And he's 67.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And he's like, holy shit. He goes, let's talk about life where we're still living.
Yes.
He goes, if I can live a good life till I'm 87, I'm going to be pretty damn happy. Right. That can be a stretch in many cases, because his definition of a good life is an active motherfucker. Right.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
He's not talking about just, living. He lives. I mean, he fucking plays tennis. I mean, he jogs. I mean, he physically lives. Anyway, he's like, there's only 20 years.
Oh,
fuck. God damn. He goes, that's not much time. He goes,
yeah.
He goes, and it's like, what it really makes me think, what do I want to do? And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking with you there. And I've always kind of queued up when I queued it up on myself. I was like, it kind of puts me at the 25-year mark. I'm not that much behind you, and, it just makes me want to fucking, just live harder, so to speak. I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
I don't mean that stupid. I mean, and he even credits, he's like, dude, he goes, that's one thing I've always loved. He says, fuck man, you've been doing it. He's like, one of the biggest compliments he gave me. And he's kind of like he's my oldest brother, almost like an uncle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
13 years difference.
Yes.
When his boy was getting ready to go to college and play football.
Yeah.
He sent his boy to live with me for better part of a month. He goes, I need you to teach him the stuff that I don't have. And he was talking about just that ability to just fucking make a decision and go, and it's like he needs that. He needs to see it's just boom, it's just go.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for me, that was a huge compliment, as he's like my hero.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, Mornings in Live with Keith and John hanging out this morning. We go live every single day here, Monday to Friday, live 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. We got a good friend of the lab. He's one of our co-hosts here on Fridays. His name is Dr. John Petrocelli. Jimmy, let's bring him up on stage. Let's keep the chat going with aging and so forth. We're going to talk first principles. We got a few things John's put on the table for this morning. Johnny, happy holidays, my brother. How are you today?
Happy holidays. Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Brother?
Fantastic.
How are you?
Excellent.
I know that you were in the green room there where we were talking about this, John Petro. So what are your thoughts on, like, have you had a conversation with your dad about what's left in life, or do you ever have that conversation with your own brain, saying to yourself, geez, I might only have 20, 30 years left? I'm too scared to have that chat with my dad. What about you, Petro?
Yeah, I actually have more recently some experience with this. I think with my mother passed away a year and a half ago. And,
I'm sorry.
And it really gives you a different perspective. But as I found it happening, with my grandparents too in the past. I think it's when you give up.
Yeah.
When you just say, okay, I'm ready.
Yes.
And
Does
in whatever
it go back
way
to
that you
purpose,
give up.
Petro? Do you think it leads back to purpose? That's what I think. Whatever someone's definition of purpose is, when they hit that end mark, what's the reason for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think to the extent that once you may feel that your purpose is fulfilled, I can imagine you're more likely to say, yeah, I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. And I wonder and then once you maybe lose your loved one who you've been married to for 30, like how long were mom and dad married, Petro?
Almost 50 years.
Well, so there you go. Like,
shit.
Yeah. So you wake up one day and your partner for your whole life is not there. I would question whether you wonder what your purpose is, and you really got to fight through to find that purpose. I think, John Petro.
I think so. My great grandmother lived to 93.
Oh wow!
She had arthritis all through her body. I mean,
that's my mom right there.
Yeah, she didn't have much of a life, to be honest. She used to say, if anybody ever wrote a book about my life, nobody would read it. So she was pretty bitter, but she fought. I mean, she was a fighter, and I think it was when I saw her last I realized I think she's given up now. She's ready, and within a couple of weeks she was gone. So I think it's when, in whatever way, shape, or form, somebody gives up and says, I'm ready. I think that's when they allow their body to leave.
It's crazy because my mom's 90 and she's, like going to, Jesus Christ, like walking her, going to get the mail for her is a big task.
Yeah.
That's like leaving the house of any nature is a big task. She just doesn't get around well. And we were talking about, she's like, I'm 90.
Yeah.
My body's kind of broken down, but I'm just mentally so sharp.
Yes. Yeah.
So she goes, I ask often, why am I here? And I've started to discover, I mean, she's constantly studying. So she's always learning and leading groups and shit like that. But she's like, so she heard somebody talk and whoever it was kind of struck. She goes, that person was saying, what we need to do is as elders to try to lead, the younger generations is hold our post. And what she meant by that was, stay positive and help the younger generations understand how to behave so that our world can turn into a better place. That she feels like that's her purpose moving forward on top of, leading her grandkids. That's a huge reason for her to live. But it's everybody has to kind of find that purpose, or why are they getting up tomorrow?
It's true. It's true. Good morning, David Bucky. My grandma made aircrafts in World War II. That's pretty damn cool, David. Would love to, if your grandma's alive, would love to meet Grandma Bucky. Good morning, Lauren. Good to see you up there this morning as well. Hey, so Petro, before we get into some of the topics you wanted to put on the table, I got something to kick off the chat here today. Jimmy, before we run this clip, a question for you, Petro. Did you watch NFL football yesterday?
A little bit.
And so Netflix ran it yesterday, and there was millions of men spent yesterday frustrated with Netflix's massive NFL live stream debut, even though Snoop performed at halftime, plagued by lag, buffering, and crashes. Jimmy, let's run it.
No.
Is the failure the mistake or the response after? Netflix botched the stream, then acted like it was fine.
Why is it so hard to say, I messed up? Ego, pride, bad leadership habits. Explanation is not an excuse. Chat, when did you lose trust in a leader who wouldn't own it? Accountability is rare, and it matters.
So is it worse that they didn't acknowledge that there was a problem, or is it worse that there was a problem and people were frustrated by it? Petro, did you experience any of the problems with it?
I didn't realize that they didn't admit it or that everyone else noticed. I usually follow games by just looking at the scoreboard on my phone. So I realized they were at least a minute behind several times. So that's one reason why I guess I stopped watching, because I just really wanted to know what the scores were.
Well, they ran live interviews, Johnny, during the show. Like during the game, they had Emmitt Smith on the show. They tried some interesting stuff. I had it on in the background. I watched some clips this morning, and I will applaud Netflix because they tried things. And John, what do leaders do? You try stuff, right? And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work, but that's what a leader does. Andersen.
Here's the question. I've only got to see a few minutes of the game. We were at my only time I got it was my brother's. The fucking power was still off, as you know.
Okay.
So, and he texted me. He texted me last night when I woke up. Just text. He said the fucking power's going to be off for the 36 hours. Fuck. Anyway, I know that's like almost 4 days. Anyway, so I got a little when we got to my oldest daughters to be with the grandboy. We got a little bit of a chance to watch the game, but it was background because we muted it, put Christmas tree on to open presents. So I didn't recognize there was any blips at all. And I asked my daughter, I say, hey, how's the stream going? She goes, as far as I can tell, it looks good, but she wasn't watching that intensely. So my question is, were they really bad blips? Because no matter how big or small they were, people were going to fucking be bent out of shape. So my question is, were they really fucking bad, or were they just everybody wants something to bitch about?
Well, so I think it's more the latter, Andersen. So I did a little bit of research myself. So was there problems? Yeah, there was some problems. And I would say more of the comments, Petro, were people just not enjoying the way the game was produced. So yeah, there was some buffering and lagging sometimes along the way there, but they were trying different things. They tried different sound effects during the game. They tried different interview styles. They tried to produce the game, Andersen and Petro, differently than what maybe most NFL fans are used to. And they're just trying things. And I applaud that. That's what leadership is. That's what's called moving the needle, because sometimes it's going to work. Because the flip side is it works. And today it was like, oh my God, the greatest production ever on Netflix yesterday.
Who fucking cares if they didn't like what they saw in terms of production? That's a choice. But if they all of a sudden were looking at a blank screen for 2 minutes, I get that one. So what were the real production problems is my question.
Well, again, it was more so just how the game was produced. Like, for example, during the live game itself, they had, I don't know if you saw this, Petro, but they had Emmitt Smith zoom into the game. So they're actually doing an interview with Emmitt Smith, Johnny, during the game on Zoom. And people are like, I want to watch the game. I don't really want to have Emmitt Smith here right now. I want to watch the game.
Well, it sounds like it was fucking success then.
Well, that's just what I mean. It just people. I don't think people were as excited with what they're used to. Speaking of used to, hey Petro, how about a segue to first principles thinking? Because what I'm thinking is that Netflix is like, hey, wait a minute, let's look at how an NFL broadcast is usually done, and then but then let's recognize how we are going to do it, and let's kick off that conversation, Petro. When you said, hey Keith, let's talk a little bit about some of the first principles stuff. Let's talk about some of the things you put on the table this morning, Petro.
Sure. Yeah, with first principles thinking, I think that's Elon Musk's more recent term. This is actually an old idea. This is the same idea with reflective thinking as opposed to intuitive sort of gut thinking. We also call it divergent thinking or lateral thinking. This is where you have to work against. You have to think outside of your learned assumptions, right? And you have to fight against the intuitive pull to where the solution to a problem or where your thinking is going. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Yes. See if you guys can work this out. Okay, this is a classic example, so you may have heard this one before. But a bat and a ball, it cost $1.10.
A bat and a ball. Okay, yeah, okay.
And the bat cost $1 more than the ball.
Okay.
So how much does the ball cost?
Well, traditionally you'd think 10 cents because it's simple subtraction.
Yes.
That's the intuitive pull. That's the number one most frequent.
That's the way we've been programmed to think about that problem to solve, correct?
Yes. And intuitive thinking will take you there. But reflective thinking, where you just say, okay, well, let me think a little more deeply about this. Let me analyze the given, the geometry problem. You get that, right? So let me analyze the situation. And then if you keep working at it, you'll see that 10 cents is not the correct answer. So the bat has to cost $1 more than the ball. All right.
Oh,
I think it'll do a little bit more.
The bat has to cost $1 more than the ball.
Yes. It could be anything then.
Now, and together they cost $1.10. So if the ball costs 10 cents, then the bat would cost $1, and that would be 90 cents more than the ball, right? So
it's crazy, Petro. How
it could be 50 and 60. It could be 50 and 60.
Yeah, but it's crazy how we just automatically made the assumption what Keith and John's brain went to the answer, and Petro, because that wasn't that.
So it could be anything as long as there's 10 cents difference.
No, the bat and ball cost $1.10. And the bat cost $1 more than the ball.
Excuse me, it's got to be $1 difference between them.
A dollar difference. Yeah.
So but it could slide anywhere it wanted to, as long as there's $1 difference.
Yeah, it has to be an exact $1 difference. Yeah, you'd be amazed how long it takes people to get.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me. So Petro, let's just pause for a second. I got about 80-second clip with Elon talking first principles. I kind of found it fascinating. Jim, let's run this.
Of a smart engineer is to optimize a thing that should not exist. Why would people do that? Well, everyone's been trained in high school and college that you got to answer the question, convergent logic. So you can't tell a professor your question is dumb, that you'll get a bad grade. You have to answer the question. So everyone's basically, without knowing it, they got like mental straitjacket on. They'll work on optimizing the thing that should simply not exist. Just make your requirements less dumb. Your requirements are definitely dumb. It does not matter who gave them to you. It's particularly dangerous if a smart person gave you the requirements, because you might not question them enough. No matter who you are, everyone's wrong some of the time. Then try very hard to delete the part or process. This is actually very important. If you're not occasionally adding things back in, you are not deleting enough. The bias tends to be very strongly towards, let's add this part or process step in case we need it. But you can basically make in-case arguments for so many things. Only the third step is simplify or optimize. The third step, not the first step. Finally, you get to step 4, which is accelerate cycle time. If you're moving too slowly, go faster. But don't go faster until you have worked on the other 3 things first. And then the final step is automate. Now, I have personally made the mistake of going backwards on all 5 steps. Multiple times. I automated, accelerated, simplified, and then deleted.
Interesting, because that's exactly what Keith and Andersen did when you asked us the question about the bat and the ball. We went back to how we were trained, but that is the wrong approach, essentially, is what you're saying, Petro.
That's right. Yeah, he used that word convergent thinking. That's the opposite of divergent thinking. It's what he's talking about is first principles, divergent thinking, sometimes lateral thinking. If you converge on sort of a basic assumption or the intuitive pull, a lot of people are going to say 10 cents, but of course the ball cost. You get it yet?
I still want to hear you lay this in simple math. Lay it out.
All right, so it's a bat and a ball cost $1.10. The bat cost $1 more than the ball. So how much does the ball cost?
Well, again, the first answer you want to say is the ball costs 10 cents,
but that's wrong.
Yes.
So how do you get them to equal $1.10? And the ball cost.
That's what Keith and John in the morning show.
It cost $1 less. All right, I'll give you one more, and we'll see if you can get it by the end of the time. All right. So there's a big Canadian and a little Canadian sitting in the penalty box.
Okay. Yes.
Now the big Canadian is not the father of the little Canadian, but the little Canadian is the son of the big Canadian. Explain.
It's a mom.
Oh, John got it.
It's a woman.
Andersen.
Right.
Whoa,
because the Canadian doesn't say there's a Canadian named John or Jim, or that, it doesn't lend to thinking male.
Yes. Excellent, John. Excellent. See, John is already he's fighting against the intuitive pull. A lot of people say, well, how is it not the father? And you'd be amazed how long it takes people to solve that.
Good morning, Buddha Toes. I see you there in the comments. Good. We're hanging out with Keith, John, and John this morning. Petro, you got us on that one. So hey, here
I'm still thinking about the ball and the bat. They're two general terms that I'm making an assumption that I can't see past, and I'm still trying to find that assumption. But I mean, fuck, man. The ball and bat, they don't have sexes.
So John, maybe the ball costs 5 cents, and maybe the bat costs $1.05.
You got it. The ball costs.
Yeah. Well, that's. I was shifting numbers around. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah. It's because you have to shift into that small. You got to take some out of the little piece rather than the big.
But this is fascinating because I will admit I got Jimmy, our producers, got me prepped on this, Petro. But this is fascinating to me because I'm looking at the words now. Because Andersen, think about this. Many people incorrectly guess 10 cents, including you and I, for the ball because the brain substitute, Petro, the $1 more for $1, which would make the difference only 90 cents.
It could be 109 in 1 penny.
Petro, what a crazy exercise, dude. Honest to God.
Yeah, but that would be $1.08 more, though, John. So if you remember, the ball has to cost a full dollar less than the bat.
Excuse me, I skewed my math, but you know what I mean? It's we go to the wrong side. Get into the 10 cents and leave $1 behind.
Yeah,
it's going to be more than $1.
Yeah, and you're
more
getting
than
closer.
$1 in some small piece. Yeah, the ball doesn't cost much. Is the easiest way to look at that. Think of it that way.
So I got to think, Petro. You asked 10 people.
I went the other way. I was like, the ball must cost more, and I started going the other way. I was like, wait a minute, I'm onto something, but I still don't see it.
So now teach us how to look at this with a first principles approach.
Well, a really good way to do that is to draw what we call the sample space or the problem space. Draw a picture. You can see things very clearly.
Okay.
If I say, like, hey, there's 3 doors. Okay. And there's a door that has a valuable prize behind it, like a car or
yeah.
And the other 2 doors have goat, something you don't want.
Yes.
And so I say pick a door, right? And so let's say you pick door 1.
Yes.
And I say, all right, well, let's open a door that you didn't pick. Let's open door 2. And then I say, all right, are you gonna stick with your original door 1, or switch to door 3? It's up to you, right? Most people think that it's a 50% chance. It doesn't matter. I could stick with or switch, right? 50%.
Yeah.
It's not 50%. You should uniformly switch I don't care if you have one trial or a million trials, you should always switch, because you have a 2/3 chance of winning if you switch. All right. If you stick with your original door, you only have a 1/3 chance. Now, when you draw this problem out, you say, all right, I got 3 doors, and the prizes don't move around, by the way. And you see this.
Okay, well, there we go. Because that right there, because that totally changes because if the prizes are moving, you could sit there and all fucking day.
Then it's absolute. Then it's 50-50, right? But this is a classic common game that you see on Let's Make a Deal. Monty Hall made that famous, and and Monty always knew where he had a bug in the air. The producers let him know, well, you can't open the door that has the car because that's just going to ruin the second phase of the game, right? So they know where the car is, and so people don't see this, and they're convinced that it's 50-50. No, it's 50-50. But when you draw it all out and all of the possibilities, you can see that 2/3 of the time you'll win when you switch. Okay. So drawing out the sample space, the problem space, is a good way to kind of see what's before you. And when people see things clearly, they actually make pretty good decisions for themselves and others.
It's funny because the family was playing Pictionary last night. You talk about drawing things out. I see when you mention that, because how we visually see things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it keeps us from making a rash decision too.
Yeah. And I'd say Elon's video, that was classic 101 divergent thinking, first principles thinking. That's probably worth watching at least once a week.
My favorite part about that was he says, if you're not putting things back, you're not removing enough. I love you got to go past the point of what you need and then come back to find it's like the needle swinging. You have to go past. You're zeroing in on the sweet spot.
Yes.
If you don't pass it, you'll never come back, because you're gonna feel it. Boom, there it is.
I like to think that's a skill that I have, and Andersen hasn't gotten to know you. It's a skill you have, because I'm always, if you ask my team in Petro as you get to know me, I'm always challenging an assumption, because I think that's the best type of leadership, right? Is you're always, and I use the word iterate. You're always iterating. And John, you've heard me say this before, well, on the racetrack, right? I was always taken aback when I saw a crew chief just going around the car and moving the lug nuts like a 1/4 of an inch. I'm like, what the fuck's that going to do? He goes, well, I'm going faster than that guy. Wow, like that's constant iterating. That's constantly questioning. Well, because it worked yesterday doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow. And it's coming at things with a blank slate, isn't it, Petro? It's hard for most humans to do. I'm learning that very, very rapidly. It's hard for most of us to do.
Well, there's a lot of fucking mental freedom and just power in general with tearing something apart and putting it back together. Sometimes you're putting it back, fuck, I guess I didn't need to do this.
Yes.
But sometimes you go, holy Christ, this thing is going to be a bad motherfucker now.
Yeah.
And if you're afraid to take it apart, that's not a good thing. You have to realize that you'll roll the dice. I'll fucking take this thing down to the fucking ground and build it again, because I'm not afraid. Number one, I'm not afraid to fail. Number two, I want that progress if it's in there. And if it's not, well, I made a mistake. But guess what? I learned really fucking well how this thing should be.
That's it.
Yeah.
Keith, John, and John this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We got the resident bullshit professor right now. We got John Petrocelli with us. Petro, I think you had one more thing you wanted to put on the table, and then I got something for us to talk about as well and have some fun with. But Petro, you first.
Yeah. Okay. I guess this one might be potentially relevant to the show. Yeah. So a few weeks ago, we had talked about the hand gestures and the potential connection with persuasion.
Yes.
So, and just for the record, I had mentioned that there was only one study that actually looked at this.
Okay.
I was not aware of the second study, the TED Talk study that you were referring to.
Okay.
So I had to look at that study, and the study is actually still in press. It's not in print, but you can get it online. And I just took a close look at the paper.
Yes.
And wondered what you guys think about this.
So you must have read the whole thing then.
I read 100% of this one, John.
Andersen, I love we have our own resident professor hanging out with us every single day. Because you notice Andersen is like, yeah, you guys said something a few weeks ago. Because Andersen, you know how Petra was like, wait a minute, I didn't fucking hear about this. I got to go and learn this myself so I can come have a conversation with these guys.
Yeah, well, and I love the fact that you can tell if it's worth a damn because he read the whole thing. Because if he smells bullshit at the halfway mark, he'll put it on the shelf.
Yeah, give it to us, Petra.
I actually, before you go, I have a question. I thought about this. If it was me with that methodology, because I don't read enough, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say I read fast enough. I read often. I just don't make enough progress to have. So if it was me, that bookshelf behind me, which I'm speaking of you because I don't have a bookshelf behind me. My bookshelf looks like it should be in a 3-year-old's room. But I would have shelves of books that I finished and different shelves of books I didn't. Do you have those?
Oh, actually,
are all of those behind you kind of mixed?
Yeah, I got a stack of books right over here that I'm reading. I'm usually reading like a dozen books at a time.
Well, what about the ones behind you on that shelf though? On those shelves behind you, are those labeled shelves, or are those just books that you have to look at and tell us if you finished or not?
Oh, I remember if I can look at the book and tell you whether I read the entire thing, half of it, or none of it. So, and they're all mixed. Yeah, they're all mixed.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
So tell us about tell us about the hand gestures.
Yeah. So I looked at the paper first.
Yeah.
The original paper, the journal, it's going to be coming out in the Journal of Marketing Research. So This is a really top journal. And so one of the things that I found with the paper was that their measure of persuasion was actually the number of likes that the videos had received. Okay.
Oh.
So that's probably problem number one. So just someone clicking the thumbs up or I like button doesn't necessarily mean
those are so easily skewed.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they've been persuaded or that the attitude has increased or decreased from the point at which it started. And then when you look more closely at the paper, so you'll find that they did a really good job of controlling for just dozens of variables that you could measure by looking at all of these videos, right? And in fact, after you statistically control for all of these dozens of variables, what you end up with is a 0.02 more of a liking for every time you move your hands. Okay, so you've got to move your hands maybe 50 times before you're statistically likely to get maybe one more like on your video. Now, when you compare that to all of the variables that were also statistically significant in predicting whether or not someone's going to hit the like button, that was equivalent to how positive the speakers were. So if they had a sort of a positive attitude that is sort of portrayed in the video. Equally likely, which I found was swear words.
Oh,
so swear words also gives you a 0.014 increase in liking or whether or not someone's going to hit the like button. So maybe you have this. For every 75 swear words that you throw out there, maybe more likely to get a like. Now these variables did not compare to speaking rate. So a faster speaking rate was more likely to be associated with likes. The duration of the video, the amount that they moved along the stage, so the motion area, and for whatever reason, brightness. So as brightness increased, the liking likelihood decreased.
Quick question. Did I miss this? I don't know if you said this. Was the people that were watching his videos, was there some sort of an idea of who they were?
Oh, no, it's just random. This is over 2,000 people. Over 2,000.
So the algorithm is controlling. It could be served up in front of a bunch of people who don't fucking give a shit. We really don't know.
Yeah, but this would be the masses online that are just daily viewing TED Talks.
Right. So what you're saying though is that if I'm doing this a lot and I'm fucking dropped and swears and if I do this and I swear a lot, that's gonna get you to like me.
Yeah, well, if you do it, you're gonna have to do it about on average 75 times to get one liking. on average. And then the biggest problem though with it is that there's what we call a clear participant selection bias. So if I run a study and I say, hey, come play our interesting video games for an hour, we'll give you $50, versus come and do this really boring task for an hour and we're not going to pay you anything, right? No one's going to go to the boring study, right? Everyone's going to go to the video game study. So what they found was that the overwhelming, most strongest variable was the likelihood of viewing. So the more views that the video got, the more likes that the video got, and there weren't any variables that even paled in comparison to that, the strength of that. Language subtitles also get 0.04 of a liking if you include subtitles. So
let me interrupt real quick. I keep going back to the fact that the audience was picked by an algorithm, and I think we can all fucking agree nobody understands the fucking algorithms. So doesn't that totally fucking break the foundation of the viewership? Yeah. Because we think, well, it's based on regular watchers, but they can fucking change something, and that whole thing gets skewed.
I agree with
the next.
So I agree with Andersen, John, we don't understand the selection process. The whole study gets thrown to the wayside. Correct?
Yes. And I would suspect that
it's a faulty set of data.
I would suspect that algorithm even changes over time as maybe some variables get more hits than others,
So literally one of my buddies last night texted me and he's like, dude, you stopped coming up on my feed. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm okay. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. So he went to my page, had to search me, went to the page, watched the video, and he said, boom, it started populating with my shit just that fast. And he didn't change anything from his knowledge. So if we're saying the algorithm picked regular TED Talk watchers, to me, I'm like, well, fuck the rest of this. I'm not this thing. I wouldn't have watched. I wouldn't have finished reading the study after that. Yeah,
that would be a major unknown. It's
doesn't that kind of tear it apart though?
To me, it does.
Yeah. For me too. What do you think, Petro?
Yeah, I think it would just add additional noise to the variation. It just adds more noise to the results because if you can't actually identify who the participants actually are and how frequently they watch. I mean, there could be participants in there that watch 1,000 of those videos a day. Totally. That's not your. I'm hoping that's not your average watcher, but
yeah. I mean, if I came and I said, Petro, I did the study. And I got 1,000 people that just love XYZ. And you're like, well, who are the 1,000? I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know. Isn't it over? The conversation's over. You put my book away, right?
Yeah. To the extent that they can see the title or they can see any, usually there's a little a thumbnail picture of the speaker. And those things do draw people in. And so those things increase the likelihood of views, and views increase the likelihood of likes. So it's a confounded. It's very confounded from the beginning. So,
too many variables to really put our stamp on it. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So true. Yeah. Hanging out with Keith and John and our resident bullshit professor, Dr. John Petrocelli, this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Hey, Petro, if you can stick around a little longer, I'd like to have you do that with us. John, we're going to do an hour to reset. We're going to bump the lifestyle tip today. We're going to do an hour to reset. But I got something fun.
I'm fucking hurting. I was going to have to try. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, dude, you're about ready to be cynical. If he puts you on Front Street, you need to fucking settle down.
But I got something fun, man. I got something fun that I want to put on. Petro, I'm glad you're here for it. So first of all, I want to preface this. I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. I grew up with Rick, woo, and the Nature Boy, and the guy fucking cracks me up. And Johnny, I always think about when you talk about the lifestyle, like that's Ric Flair, right? Ric Flair is the lifestyle of that industry. Well, you guys also may know of the platform Cameo, where you can pay celebrities to send you greetings and send you love messages, or just send you some like greetings from somebody who's a celebrity. Well, so Flair over the holiday break was invited to send a video to somebody getting married. Jimmy, did you guys seen this? This is fucking
To
funny.
my man Eric
And I was with,
from Tina,
Evan and all that.
fam,
Yeah, and when I left,
and the military boy.
after Red Dog.
Woo!
They
I guess it's a beautiful gift. I'm not sure why. Oh, bachelor gift. Gotcha, man.
It was already.
Eric is a tattoo of your famous.
If you're already.
Woo!
The
God, Eric, so many women do. So many do. Now he's getting married. Oh my God. Why would you get married, motherfucker? It's the worst possible commitment you could do. Because as of the day you get married, 50% of everything is hers. I don't care how beautiful she is. Stay her girlfriend.
Stay her girlfriend.
Tina and the military boy.
Oh my God.
Was this thing played at the wedding?
No, so it might
Can you imagine right at the fucking reception, this thing hits the big screen?
John, it probably was actually. But somebody paid $1,000 for that. They paid Ric Flair $1,000 for it. And that's what they got back. So the guy's like, and then he went on to X to complain about it, going, "What the fuck, man? I paid Cameo $1,000." So there was actually a whole stream of them. I guess he was sitting at the bar over the holidays, and he recorded a bunch of videos, $600, $1,000, just fucking, just dishing people.
He's gonna get canceled on Cameo, man.
Oh, I love Flair, man. Petro, because I know you.
Talk about authenticity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right,
that just shows a couple of fucking drinks and what makes sense really fucking changes.
Why are you getting married, motherfucker? I just thought that was pretty awesome. All right, Jimmy, let's do an hour 2 reset. We're going to come back and have a conversation around a couple things here. The Snoop Dogg halftime show, mental health with Stranger Things, and if we have some time, human evolution is falling out of sync. And then coming up the bottom hour, guys, I got a monologue on our dads that I encourage you guys to stick around for live. Jimmy, let's do an hour 2 reset. We're running a little bit behind. Let's do it. Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in Live with Keith, John, and friends. We get after it every single day here live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. We got the resident Dr. John Petrocelli hanging out with us this morning. We kicked off the show here, guys. We talked about the Netflix situation on the game yesterday. We talked about nose picking. Yeah, it might be giving you dementia. We also talked about when do people die? What about that? When do people mostly die? Well, we learned it actually happens between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning. And then we just spent the last 30 minutes or so with the doc himself, Dr. John Petrocelli, talking about first principles thinking, erasing everything you know and coming to the table with brand new ideas and brand new concepts. And we're going to keep the show going right now with myself, Andersen, and Petro. And we're going to kick off hour 2. Jimmy, let's get it going, brother. Let's get it going right now.
Stranger Things gave us nostalgia, but also a mirror.
Jimmy, you can run a deep dive there, segment, Jim. We'll run a deep dive there, Jim. We'll get.
He hunts the guys who disappear. No replies.
Stranger Things gave us nostalgia, but also a mirror. Vecna is that inner narrator that only speaks at 2 a.m.
He hunts the guys who disappear. No replies, no gym, no laughter, just scrolling and saying, "I'm fine."
Then he uses shame. Old mistakes on a highlight reel, you rewatch them until you forget you grew.
Max escaped with music. We escape with interrupts. One song, one walk, cold water, one deep breath, right now.
Quick armor, name your Vecna. Write the sentence that drains you. Naming it turns a fog into a target.
Second armor, break the silence. Text one brother or your accountability guy. 2 words, rough morning is enough.
So today, we're breaking the spell. We'll map the signs, the interrupts, and the connection that keeps men steady.
Petro, has Stranger Things been part of your show watching over the last 9 years or so?
No, I don't watch Stranger Things. I keep hearing about this though. Is there a comeback or something? I think.
Yeah. So the ending of it dropped this week, which is why I put it on the table today. And I've been working hard as I've been talking to you off show about kind of taking trending topics and linking it back to the metaphors of what we talk about here in the lab. And as we're wrapping up this recent Stranger Things story arc, we're using it to talk about men's mental health and why Vecna is one of the most accurate metaphors we've seen for what quietly takes men out from the inside. And I got a question for you, brother, just based on your circle and your friends and people you've gone through in the past. Do men ignore mental health until it becomes a crisis? Is that based on your experience, John Petro?
Based on my experience, that happens frequently. I think, I think the way it has a lot to do with the way men are stereotypically socialized. Supposed to be tough. You got to be strong. You got to, you're going to have to fight, to climb to the top and anything that you want to do, and so you don't have time. You don't have time to be sick.
Yeah.
And the last thing you have time for is to be mentally sick
yes.
So, and I think it's oftentimes, for a very, very long time, there was a major, negative stigma about mental health.
100%.
Mental health care. And, and I think for a very long time too, there was any kind of psychotherapy or group counseling kind of center would have a back door. They had the front, they had the plaque out front, the shingle out front, but nobody ever used the front door. They would be the more discreet kind of back door, so nobody would kind of see you going or coming and going. And that's I think that is changing, but I think it's generally still a pretty
well. But it's interesting you put that up there, because Andersen, I want to bring into this as well. That backdoor concept, Petro. When you put that back door, it actually leads right into this conversation, because now shame becomes the real weapon. It's like, oh, Andersen's walking out the back door. He must have been doing something that is, it's bad, right? And studies, as you know, Petro, show that in men's mental health, unresolved shame, what does it do? Well, it increases anxiety, increases substance abuse, and emotional breakdown, right? So, John, we're talking little Stranger Things, and I know you're not a big viewer of it, but I wanted to lean it into today's show.
Is that a TV show?
Yeah, and it's culturally quite popular right now. It leans into some of the things you and I have grown up with. It's been out for 9 years now, but the themes that they're talking about, and as they're wrapping it up, is men's mental health and isolation and shame, and current research in the real world mirrors this. Men with weak social ties, John, we've talked about on the show often. Men with weak social ties are more than likely significantly to experience depression, burnout, and isolation is not recovery. It's actually exposure.
I mean, I know there are certain situations that don't apply what I'm going to say next.
Okay.
If you take the majority of people that have mental, challenges.
Yes.
And you get these fuckers, in the sun, you get them, you get blood flow, you start fucking poisoning them with chemical fucking based food.
Yeah.
A huge amount of these fucking problems disappear in the goddamn wind.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, the few that remain, it's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's hard to argue with that. And Petro, silence, if you think about it, right? We have been taught that silence makes our monsters grow stronger. If we don't talk about it, what happens? The monsters keep building inside, right? And I would suggest that men who regularly check in, or John, to use some of your points, men who regularly don't eat the processed foods, get moving, get out, but men who regularly check in with an accountability partner, maybe join our show, might report better emotional regulation and higher life satisfaction because you're out there communicating with folks and getting after it. Petro.
Or even how about, I'm sorry, I know you threw it back to Petro, but what about, silence? You can break that silence with your fucking self if you're actually being productive.
Yes.
Don't just sit there and think about your problems. Are you breaking shit down? Are you, okay, what do I not want to do today that I did yesterday that made this worse? I mean, that's breaking the silence too.
Well, I talked about it before through. I talked about it as I had dinner yesterday, Johnny. Right? I could have chose to stay silent and go get more food. But Petro, I don't know if you heard, but what I did is I said out loud, I'm on a path to self-sabotaging behavior now, and I'm not going down a good space. I said it out loud instead of being silent about it. I put my plate in the kitchen. I enjoyed my meal, but I didn't sabotage myself. Petro.
Yeah, what you're talking about though has a ton of empirical evidence in support of it. So the cognitive behavioral therapy,
yes,
for family theory, has more evidence in favor of it. But a lot of times people forget about that behavioral piece, what John is talking about, and so cognitive behavioral therapy is focused a lot on just trying to get people to think differently.
Okay.
Right? But if you isolate yourself, mentally and physically, it's usually not going to lead anywhere good, right?
Yes.
And so a good cognitive behavioral therapist works also on the behavior in addition to trying to get you to think differently. So it really does boil down to, okay, well, take a walk, once a day, or get out of the house and stop sleeping so much and stop isolating yourself, and call an old friend or something. Those types of things, getting people moving, getting the blood flowing, leads to all of the other social aspects that their life probably needs. So getting out, you're more likely to see people, right, and interact with other people. So but the behavioral piece is huge.
Talking about it though, I'm gonna call you both out. But the way that you're both talking about it, you make it sound so easy. Mm-hmm. And for some of us, it's not easy. Like Andersen, and you're like, Bill, let's just get up and get your ass out of the house and go for a walk and get some sun. And I might say to you, but Johnny, I can't.
Well, I didn't say easy.
No, you're right. You're right. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's my choice.
It's for sure. I mean, call it simple.
Yes.
But simple doesn't always mean easy. Simple means easier, depending on how you set it up.
Yes.
I mean, I have a client, literally, he's one of these guys who started and just fucking fell off immediately. Oh. And he paid me up front. And I'm like, look, dude. And I said, look, whenever you want to restart, you tell me. Right. And he's fucking walleted this for 18 months. And I said, dude, I keep preaching simple, 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 simple. He's fucking overcomplicating shit. And I'm like, dude, no, you're going to be sitting here thinking about these complex ways to deal with this. Mm-hmm. How about just fucking get up, put your shoes on and go outside and walk. Just do that. And I said, I just keep he's one of those guys. He doesn't want the answer from me. He wants to give me the answer, but I just put a lot of simple answers in front of him. And then about 2 weeks goes, how about I'll get up, I'll take a walk, and I'll report to you my steps every day. Perfect. Great idea. and he's fucking air free ball now. And he's feeling better. And it's just like fucking unbelievable. And so, and granted, that wasn't easy for him, but it was extraordinarily simple. And now you just start stacking these simple tasks on top of each other.
Interesting the way you frame that. Petro, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think you can even take another step backwards and say, mentally simulate that. There's a big area of research known as implementation intentions. It sort of goes like this, okay, well, when I feel like shit, I will do this. So you're kind of making a plan for, when these types of things occur. Or when I am tempted again by that big piece of chocolate cake, I will do this, and replace a much more functional behavior so that you're already sort of priming yourself. You're already prepped.
Creating a trigger.
Yeah. So in the morning, I will get dressed, and I will put on my shoes. Doesn't mean I'm going to go outside, but at least I'm starting to take. And so what we find is that the implementation intentions increase the likelihood of the actual behavior actually occurring. So it's a way of sort of training yourself. I will do this when, and it's much more effective when you say add the conditional. You say when I experience this, or when the situation is such, I will do this thing, and it increases the likelihood.
And if you say it out loud to somebody, I got to think. So when I say it out loud to John, more than likely the chance of me succeeding at it is going to be higher because I've said it out loud. But I'm also thinking, Petro, that because John's heard it, he's going to also maybe hold me accountable too. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. Yeah. When you publicize your goals, then it increases the likelihood that you're going to feel a discomfort when you don't act in conjunction with those goals. We call this cognitive. This is the cognitive dissonance that people say. So I said I would do this.
So back to me yesterday saying I am on the path to self-sabotaging behavior. I am
out loud.
Yeah, I am now. I talked it out loud at the table. I took my plate, Petro, got up and moved it to the kitchen and gave it to my mother-in-law. I said, I'm done. She goes, don't you want more? I said, no, because if I have more, I'm going to be sabotaging myself. And I just talked it out loud, Petro, and it worked for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and people who care about you and want you to attain your goals, they'll encourage you. They'll be the first people to ask you, so how's it going with your new diet, right?
Yes.
Now you have to be careful because some people don't want to see you reach your goals because they're actually competing with you, or they compare themselves with you, and so they're people they're going to say, oh, have another piece. It's Christmas, Have a
Well, Petro, what you're saying is kind of interesting. Is I've had a few people that misfired with even putting on the shoes and getting outside. And like with this guy said, look, I said, no coffee, no nothing, take a fucking piss, put on your shoes and go. Because one thing will turn into a distraction, right?
Yes.
And if he had misfired, what I told him was, okay, now you put your shoes on, go to the front door, open it, smell that fresh air, close it. You don't get to go outside. You do this for 10 days straight, then you can go outside.
I love how you simplify things, man. Because when I listen to you speak, you're like, no, like there's just two things. You get up, put shoes on, go outside.
Yeah, that cup of coffee would turn into, I better check in. I better do that.
I know.
No, dude. Take a fucking piss. I mean, I was almost telling him to fucking go without his shoes on, but he lives in a cold environment.
Yeah, but it's interesting when you break it down like that. And when I hear you talk, Andersen, especially as I'm learning with you, with your clients, like some people need that discipline, eh? This is what you do, period.
When they need to understand that a cup of coffee will turn into an email. They don't understand that it's just this fucking start of a process we're trying to stop.
Yeah. Speaking about a process, hey, Petro, Johnny, have you guys ever had long distance relationships?
With like what?
Well, with what? Well, there's a Chinese startup that's building a device that will help you with long distance kissing. So, yes. So you'd get the app, you'd buy this device, and if I wanted to kiss Petro or Petro wanted to kiss Andersen, you actually could have this device and strap it to your face and kiss somebody so that they can actually feel it.
Yeah. Guys, I gotta go. I need to order that off Amazon right now.
It doesn't look like lips to me. It looks like a different set of lips.
Well, when I say it with what, I mean, it's the fucking screen changed and I saw this thing and I was like, what the fuck are we talking about?
You know what we're talking about next? Just quickly before you guys go, yesterday, Snoop.
Dude, hold on. If the question quickly becomes, when do they turn that thing into a blow-up doll?
So we know those are already existing.
So it's not just a kiss that the other person on this side's feeling.
Don't even get me started. Andersen, it's going to be a topic on the show in the coming months where somebody's going to be having a human robot that's anatomically doing a bunch of crazy things. We just know that's coming. I'll tell you what happened yesterday.
Well,
Snoop,
real quick, before you switch, that those kissers were giving fucking terrible kisses, for Christ's sake. If someone's giving me a kiss like that, they're fucking done.
Yesterday, Snoop performed halftime and he gave us all a lesson on authenticity. Jimmy, let's run this clip.
Snoop's the proof relevance after 50 is real. He doesn't hide age. He turns it into authority.
He shows up as an OG, not a pretend 25-year-old. That honesty reads as confidence.
He keeps the core identity. Same voice, same flavor, so growth never feels like a total personality swap. Then he collaborates across generations. Different eras, same stage, and everybody wins because it's still him.
He's everywhere, but not random. Music, TV, ads, sports, the story stays consistent. Long Beach to legend. He rejects the expiry date. 50 isn't decline, it's staying power if you keep shipping and stay sharp. For the guys killing the snooze button, double down on you, evolve your lane, and keep showing up.
I'm a huge fan of Snoop because he's so authentic and he keeps being himself. Yesterday, he hosted the halftime show, Johnny, and if you would have watched it, you're like, that's Snoop. And he's like, yeah, he was Snoop at 54 like he was Snoop at 25, but he was relevant at 54. And John, I got to be honest, I was thinking about your mom because your mom continues to learn. Your mom is like, yeah, I'm 90, but I'm just, I want to keep learning. I want to keep doing more. It's the same with Snoop. And John, there's too many men you've talked about before. Too many men that get up or get to a certain age in life, like, okay, I'm done. I'm done getting better. I'm done evolving. I'm done. I'm kind of done living. God, yeah, well said.
The guy's it's not about how they physically change or morph. It's about the fact that they're creating / working just as hard now as they were then because they're not really working. They love it.
I put this on the table because I'm around enough of my peers, and I know Petro, you are as well, and I know you are as well, Andersen. But a lot of men, I'm going to suspect, don't fall off because they've washed. They fall off because they stop shipping. They start to give up. We hit 50s. It's like, kind of done now.
Because there's no fucking interest in what
I'm with you, Andersen. I know, right? And like they stop learning, stop being seen.
Well, I mean, think about it. 50 years old. This is kind of that age where these fuckers that were programmed improperly. This is about the time where they've put in the time where, okay, I'm going to do this for X amount of years and plan to retire because I want to get away from whatever the fuck I've been doing to earn. This is a trap for fucking people to die.
Yeah. It was the moment was pretty cool yesterday. You know, if you get a chance, guys, I'd encourage you to watch it. Just like a 90 seconds, 2-minute clip from yesterday's show. But he rejects the idea that the runway ends at 50. And I'll tell you, as a entertainer, as a host of a show, it just encourages me to keep being me. And, you know, I'll be my own Keith. But when you see guys like Snoop and Johnny, Mick Jagger, Madonna, fuck, man, age is literally just a number. How you want to act to it is, and I know it's such a cliche, but man, you got to keep moving. Get up, interest.
Well, you know, he grew up a gangster, right?
Yes.
Going back to what you said.
Yeah.
Well, let's think what he didn't get as a gangster. He didn't get the traditional programming.
Fuck, that's a comment. Because he did not end up down the traditional path of where that path
he was fucking he wasn't listening to that shit.
No, he took his own path.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
That's his own way.
Jesus Christ. It's like
Petro, I know we got to roll, man. Thanks for hanging out with us today. What do you got going on today? What do you got going on the weekend there, Johnny?
That's Johnny.
Petro.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Petro. Oh yeah. I'm headed back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not. Yep, I'm going to visit my father and hoping it's not going to be like the last trip.
Yes.
Snowing. It was 16 degrees and cold, and snowing. But anyway, this talk here, guys, it reminds me of this study that you guys were talking about. I think maybe last week, where the 35 to 40-year-olds sort of decline physically.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 35 is our peak. Yeah.
I'm waiting for this to show the same thing with mental decline. I would imagine it comes around the same time. I don't know of a study yet that shows that convincingly, but I would imagine that once you stop being interested in learning and sort of growing, then that's when I would imagine the decline mentally goes.
Petro, how old's your dad? Petro?
He's 73.
Okay, so 73. John's mom is 90. My dad is 80, 83, 84, turning tomorrow. My mom is, I think, 79, 80. They're based on what I've learned from you guys and my parents, there is no lack of wanting to continue learning. So as long as they're wanting to learn, I have a belief they're going to want to keep living.
Interest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has no interest. They have no will.
That's it. Petro, appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us as always on Fridays. I love hanging out with you, brother. Good time.
Love you guys. Thanks.
Love you too, always good to hang out with you, Petro. I look forward to it for sure.
My pleasure. Pleasure.
Hey, Andersen, we're gonna have to get better at math next time we bring the guy on the show because he's putting us on the spot. We're both like, $1.10, $1.09, $1. What the fuck is the answer?
I'll have another one for you next time.
Well, you know the non-numbers one was I fucking caught that before he finished. The non-numbers one. The numbers threw me for a loop, man.
That's true.
In about 10 milliseconds, you got that.
That's right. Yeah. All right, Petro, listen, drive safe up to Pittsburgh and be well. We'll talk along the way.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Great weekend, brother.
All right, Petro's out of here. You're left with the Keith and the John show as we're wrapping up, and I got my brother going to get him out of here in a quick second. So, Johnny, you're at home you're home now. What do you got going on for the week?
Kids showing up here. The two little girls, actually, excuse me, just the middle one and her basically boyfriend, who's kind of borderline fiance, is showing up here at some point later this morning.
Okay.
And then the little one is coming the day after because she's actually coming from Northern, and it is fucking just going up there. That storm is just crushing. So we told her to wait till that thing spools it down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, before I was going to quickly say here, Jimmy, don't run that clip just yet. I saw that picture on IG with you and your 3 daughters. I don't know when that picture was taken, but I just want to tell you, man, I loved it, dude. You had it on IG yesterday, and again, I don't know how recent it was, but you and your 3 daughters. If anybody tuning in right now has Johnny following on Instagram, go see that picture of him and his 3 daughters. That smile on your face, man. That smile on your face, that love that I could see in that image. It was like, it just made me feel very warm inside, man. I was like, the pride you had with those 3 girls, dude, it was jumping out of the image, Andersen. I'm telling you right now.
I don't get them all in one arm's reach that often. So it's pretty fucking easy to happen, you know. It
was awesome. I saw that and I was like, oh, I got goosebumps talking about it because I felt so wonderful. And then your post about it, wonderful. Had nothing to do with economics. It had everything to do with that image and the moment and what you desire, which is the love of your family. And that image, man, was fucking awesome, brother. I want to tell you that. Very cool.
Well, thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Okay. Well, hey, before you go, Jimmy.
John, before you go, quick callback. The other day we ran that elephant clip and everybody yelled WTF. Let's decode it. Because the internet calls everything a meme. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's a stress signal hiding in plain sight. If the elephant is rocking side to side, that's self-soothing. It shows up when space, stimulation, or freedom is missing. But dirt tossing is different. That's dust bathing, cooling off, protecting skin. That one's normal and healthy behavior. So don't confuse coping with functioning. One says the environment is wrong. The other says the system is working.
So here's the move, John. Ask what's missing before you judge the behavior. Stress looks weird, but it's still information.
Elephants.
I love why this whole segment is them talking to me about this. Like I've got some fucking, like I need some fucking help with this whole thing. Jesus Christ. That is a much more vivid video than the last one we saw.
You know, we were talking algorithms earlier, right? So I show one elephant video on our fucking show. Next thing you know, my feed is full of elephants, right? So we're got some elephant.
It always goes a little deeper. It's not just the elephant dick. Now it's an elephant dick getting rubbed on the fuck. I don't know if that's a fucking anthill or whatever it is, but
just rubbing away, just fucking rub. But hey, we all have our needs, my brother. We talk about it on this show all the time, life expectancy work, and clearly the elephant wants to live longer. So there you go. I thought that was some.
Yeah, the sound would have told us if he was just scratching an itch or scratching an itch.
Oh, Neiman, I love you. You can roll those eyes all you want. Us boys will have fun as much as we can. Yeah, she's like, boys will be boys. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. All right, pal. Hey, man, what a fucking fun show. I knew it was going to be a fun show. We had a great turnout on the show here today. I'll tell you, man, since we've been leaning into really tweaking our topics and headlines, we'd regularly been having 500, 600, 700 people showing up for the show here live over our time together. So we are trending in the right direction. 2026 is going to be an awesome year, pal. Enjoy your time this weekend with the girls. I know you're going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to a quiet day in my brain today and get some stuff done. And because I don't know about you, but after a couple of days of lots of social interaction, I need time for myself. Like I need to just be in my head. You ever get that way?
It's a good question. The social interaction this up to this point has been more intimate. It's been smaller groups.
Oh yeah.
So if there's bigger groups, I could see that.
Yes. Yeah. Good morning, Void on X. Good to see you in the comments this morning. Okay, Andersen, I know you got a little journey back to the house there, so you have yourself a great one, and we'll talk to you along the way. Okay.
Have a good loop, my brother.
All right, pal. All right, Johnny's out of here. Good morning, everybody. Void Onyx, Stranger Things fan here. Hey, welcome to the show. This is Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. You just missed our live conversation about Stranger Things. The conversation we had about Stranger Things, Void on X, was, I'm just going to pull it up here quickly, was men's mental health and how to defeat your Vecna. You're in India. Welcome to the show here this morning. We got a morning show here in North America. Thankfully, John went home. Ryan Rogers, 8211. Ryan, why do you say that? Ryan, first of all, Ryan, where are you joining us from? So good morning. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, or welcome to the evening in India with Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. But Ryan Rogers, where are you joining us from? And why do you say, thankfully, John went home? Because I'm kind of sad John went home. I love having John hang out with me. It makes me really, really happy. Hey, Jimmy, so I got a question for producer Jimmy. And I'm wondering, Jimmy, if you have like a 30 or 45 second like clip, because that would enable my bladder to be emptied so that I can come back and do my monologue, which might be fun to do. So we got Spartacus. John is the bomb. Love that guy. I agree. Okay, good, Jimmy. That's awesome. And then we got Ryan. He ripped me off in private coaching online and refused to refund me. Well, so listen, that might be something you want to take up with Andersen. Here's what I've learned in life. And I think Spartacus, you have learned this as well. There's always three sides to every story. There's one side, the second side, and a different side that maybe somebody's both not seeing. So maybe, I don't know what to say, Ryan, and maybe you just want to reach out to Johnny and have a chat with him because maybe you guys can find a way to resolve that. What do you think of the last episode? Does Steve have more chances of dying or Hopper? Oh, Void Onyx. I can't reveal any of that right now. What do I think? What do you think? What are your thoughts, Void Onyx? Hey, coming up in 2 minutes. Morning Focus. Do you guys have a dad? Do you have a dad? Maybe you've had a. I'm sorry. Do you have a dad? Is your dad alive? Is your dad passed? Where are you at your relationship with your dad? Are you young? Are you a dad yourself? Well, coming up in a few minutes, you guys. I got something for dads, and you will not understand dad until it is too late. Jimmy, don't run the clip just yet. So guys, I got that coming up here in a quick second here in the Morning Focus, and we got Maya Reyes with the Community Corner. But I think we're going to get this monologue started. Jimmy, I'm going to run out of here quickly. And when I say this, you won't understand dad until it's too late.
Morning Focus, dad timeline. At 5, he's Google. At 14, he's embarrassing. Then life humbles you, fast.
At 18, your confidence with no evidence. At 24, the engine cries and dad becomes the hotline.
By 30, you start asking questions. By 40, you see what he carried. Pressure, bills, uncertainty, still showing up. He wasn't perfect, he was early. He saw consequences before you did. That's experience, not control.
If your dad's here, call him today. Not when life calms down. Ask one real question while you still can.
If it's complicated, don't fake a fairy tale. Make one honest move, a boundary, forgiveness, or just respect.
And if you're a dad, stay steady. Question for chat. What do you wish you could ask today?
Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Spartacus lost my dad 29 years ago, was very young. I'm sorry to hear that, Spartacus. Void Onyx, nah, I am nor dad. Void Onyx, well, listen. I would invite you to stick around and listen to this because you might enjoy what I'm about to say next. Spartacus, ears up. Anybody who has a dad, is a dad, or is going to be a dad might want to hear what we are going to put on the table next, and especially as we're coming through this holiday season, because I know some of us might be struggling with the holiday season, with loss, or just changes with the holiday season around our fathers. All right, guys, let's get it. I want to read you a timeline. And if you've ever had a dad, or perhaps you've been a dad, or you're trying to be a dad without losing your mind, you're going to feel this. Because it starts like this. When you're 5 years old, dad knows everything. He's basically Google, but with a belt and a weird confidence about directions. Yeah, my dad had a belt. My dad had very much a weird confidence about directions. And then when you become 7, well, dad still knows. And you don't even question it. And I got to be honest, as I was writing this monologue yesterday, I went through my own experience of being a father. and ask myself, has Carter or Piper looked at me this way? Because you don't even question it at 7. If dad says the moon is made of cheddar, you're like, okay, well, dad says it's made of cheddar. Can I have a slice? And then when we become 10, something shifts. Wait, maybe dad actually doesn't know. Because dad just said, unplug it and plug it back in, and it didn't work. Listen, you've been there. You've asked dad. He's like, well, fuck, I don't know. Just do this. And then at 12, you are fully convinced that dad doesn't know. Dad's guessing. Dad is out here freestyling parenting with no script in sight. And then at 14, well, dad is gone fucking crazy. Yeah. Dad breathes too loud in public. Dad's embarrassing me nonstop. I think I've been there with my kids. And then dad says hello to someone and you're like, oh my God, why are you so social? Why do you have to talk to everybody? I was out with my dad on a trip a few months ago, 80 some odd years, and he's talking to everybody. I'm like, Dad, really? You got to talk to everybody? But then at 16, you can't take dad seriously because dad's opinions are, well, they're outdated. Dad's advice, cringe. Dad's music, well, it might be considered illegal. And then at 18, as we go through life, we say to ourselves, well, what the hell does dad know? You're an adult now. You've been alive for 18 years. What the fuck does dad know? I have the wisdom. Dad doesn't know anything. Because I got TikTok. My dad doesn't have TikTok. I got confidence with no evidence. But then at 22, dad seems to be talking rubbish. Dad, you don't get it. No, you don't understand how the world works now, Dad. You're an old dude. Maybe you're just eating ramen with a fork you stole from work. And then at 24, you know more than dad. Oh yeah. Like, oh fuck yeah, I know more than dad. I'm 24 years old. I was that guy. I got married for the first time I've had 25 because I fucking knew everything. Oh yeah. I didn't know dick. I didn't know shit. So at 24, you're like, oh yeah, I know more than dad. For sure. Absolutely. Undeniably, I know more than dad because I'm unstoppable until the car makes a noise and I'm like, oh shit, dad. If an engine is crying, I'm asking for a friend. Then 26 hits. And weirdly enough, dad seems to know some things after all. Well, hey, dad, you talked about that car breaking down. Maybe not everything, but just enough to make you pause. And then by 30, you start thinking to yourself, well, maybe I should ask dad about this because life is just getting real and bills are real. Relationships are real. Man, I'm not 18 anymore. I'm not 20 anymore. I'm 30. I need some of dad's help because you're making decisions that don't come with a tutorial. Maybe I got to find my dad. Then you blink and you're like, holy shit. I'm fucking 40. And you're thinking, oh my God, my dad has went through all of this already? Because now you realize he wasn't just a dad. He was carrying the pressure that you never saw. Trying to keep the family afloat, trying to be strong when he didn't feel strong, trying to look certain while he was undeniably certain. While he was undeniably uncertain. And then at 45, as you go through your journey in life, you're like, you look in your own mirror and you admit it. Okay, well, perhaps dad has been right all along. Not because he was perfect, but because he was early. And he saw the consequences before you did, young men. And then when you hit 50, as I did a few years ago, the line that hits like a truck. Well, if dad was here, I could have learned a lot from him. That is the whole thing right there, guys, because this just isn't a cute little age by age meme. It's a warning. It's a saying. It's a saying that you don't realize what your dad carries, men, until you're carrying it. You don't realize how much he knew until you finally need it. And you don't realize how temporary this whole thing is until you can't call him anymore. So here is what I want to say to you, especially to the guys watching this right now. If your dad is here, call him. Not when you have time. Not when life calms down. Call him right now. Whether you're listening to this live after the show, call him right now. Send him a text. Ask him questions while you can. Don't look at your dad as years or weeks of days of time with him. Look at visits. Okay, well, I see my dad once a month. Well, over the next year, I'm going to see him 12 times. 12 times? Is that going to be happy enough for you? Because if your relationship with your dad is complicated, because I know it is for a lot of people, and it has been for me. I love my dad. But Keith and Brian's relationship was not and has not always been perfect. And this isn't about pretending everything is about being perfect, you guys. It's this time of the year where it's about refusing to waste what is still possible. Call him. Call him. I know Spartacus is listening right now, and Spartacus lost his dad when he was 29. And I'm wondering, as I'm reading this, speaking this monologue to you, I bet you Spartacus would love to call his dad right now. Because life passes very fast once we are gone. Regret not having him around is exactly what Spartacus is saying. So, let's rewind. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about refusing to waste what is still possible. And if your dad is alive today, it is still possible. It's possible to have a conversation. It's possible to create a boundary. It's possible to maybe have forgiveness. Maybe it's acceptance. Maybe it's just choosing not to repeat the same damage that you grew up with, men. And if you are the dad, I got an invitation for you. Ears up, listen, because this one matters. Your kid's opinion of you will change. Yes. Oh, yeah. It's going to change. Often. It's going to change 100 times. It's going to change 1,000 times. It's going to change through the entire journey of your life. Your kids are going to idolize you. Your kids are going to roast you. And then I expect, it hasn't happened to me yet, but I do expect that my kids are going to reject me. Because that's what we do with our dads, with our parents. We reject them. And then there's a high chance that they're going to ignore me. Yeah. Then, as I've just articulated in a timeline of life, my kids will come back because they're going to understand me. But my job is not to win the popularity contest with my kids. My job is to be stable enough that they can come back when they are 30. Because someday your kid is going to be staring at a decision. And your voice is either going to be a compass or an absence they can't stop feeling. So I'm going to end this with a question for you, nation. And because we are on a live show, we do not do passive content here. But here's my question for you. What's one thing? Spartacus, Holroyd, good time. Jimmy. I'm sorry, Jimmy. What's one thing you wish you could ask your dad today? Or if you're a dad, what's one thing you hope your kid understands about you later? I want to hear from you in the comments, live or as we cut this up. And if this hits you, my invitation is this. Hear me clearly. Do not scroll. Don't save this conversation for later. Call your dad. Text your kid. Or at the very least, decide who you are going to be in your family line starting today.
It's Christmas morning, and something in this lounge is committing crimes against my tree and my patience. Everest story first. You hit the top and realize you weren't elite. You were just confidently underqualified. That's the Dunning-Kruger special. The higher you climb, the more you see how much you don't know. Then the quit voice. It's your brain's threat alarm, screaming like it's dying, even when you're just uncomfortable. And LinkedIn's like, stop waiting to be ready. Clarity shows up after you move, not before. Nation, what are you waiting to start today?
I didn't tell him. But I put that monologue together for my friend, for my colleague, for somebody who I love deeply. For you, Jimmy. Hey, you guys can join the show with us live right now. I haven't lost a dad. I cannot imagine the feelings of what the holiday season is like as Jimmy and his family just went through it. So I thought the least that I can do was to put some words, to put some love, to put some heart to something that I was feeling for Jimmy and his family. And for those of you that maybe have lost a dad, don't have a dad, or are a dad, or are becoming a dad and wondering what that journey is like. Because I share everything on this show about my journey in life and questioning whether I'm a good dad, how I've been a good dad, and what my kids think about me. Yeah, what my kids think about me. It's important to me. I want to hear from you. Come join the show with us live right now in the comments. Or come phone me, 431-300-3005. Are you a dad? Is your dad proud of your accomplishments? Are you an active dad? Are you a participating dad? Or are you an absent dad waiting to find a place to get started? Share it with me, 431-300-3005, or come say hi in the comments. And hey, maybe you are more comfortable doing this privately. Well, send me a text, 431-300-3005, and let's talk about it. All right, let's keep the show going, guys. Community Corner. We're going to start over on YouTube as Maya walked us in here. Ryan Mitchell reflects on his Mount Everest climb as a humbling Dunner-Kruger moment. He reached the summit, but he realized how inexperienced he actually was. He was at the peak of his own stupidity. He thought he was prepared. He later dropped into the valley of despair when he saw the real learning curve of climbing Everest. Guided climbs let him just walk up without learning technical skills. Guided handed food, camp setup, rope work, and fixed lines. But then moving to Washington, climbing culture exposed him to climbers who showed him how deep the sport goes. So here was his invitation, which is this. Humility is a growth tool. Treating those imposter feelings as pushing towards enlightenment instead of reasoning to quit. Sure, there's a shortcut. You can have the guide set everything up for you. You could have the guide handle the food, make the setup, put the rope fork work fixing and getting it all done. But did you actually make the accomplishment yourself? And have you accomplished something early in life before you were actually ready? Back to our first principles conversation with Petra earlier. Maybe there's a different way to do it. All right, Substack for the love of doing hard shit. For the love of doing hard shit, Jim Quick says deliberate discomfort literally reshapes the brain. Yes, mental toughness is trainable, not a fixable trait. Hard physical effort, well, it spikes BDNF, brain fertilizer that grows new neurons. Uncomfortable exercise produces far more than easy effort. Hey, let's go back to our climber. That uncomfortable exercise of trying to figure out how to climb the mountain might have been a more rewarding thing for our previous person we talked about, Ryan Mitchell, right? But then we have the urge to quit, especially when I'm on that treadmill, running. It comes from that amygdala's response to say, nah, you can't do this, because it can't distinguish real danger from safe discomfort. But then through stress inoculation, you train your nervous system to experience that urge without acting on it. So here's the invitation, guys, the 3-phase protocol. Naked discomfort. Do the hard thing with no distractions. You heard Andersen earlier. Go for it. Just get out, no distractions, and go. Reward some pairing with hard effort and do that 1% rule. Do slightly more each day. I've actually been talking to my team about the 1% rule and inviting them to consider the 2% rule. Why 2%? Because everybody else doing 1%. Yeah. So we in the lab are adopting the 2% theory. Because all you motherfuckers out there on the 1%, I'm like, nah, nope, we're better than that. True story. So, hey, are you listening to the quit voice or are you training your brain to ignore it? All right, we're going to wrap up our Community Corner segment with Maya Reyes here today with LinkedIn. Are you waiting to be ready? Are you just waiting? I'll be ready tomorrow. I'm ready to start my new routine next week. I'm waiting to get ready. So this one I can't comprehend, actually. I'm gonna get into this monologue with this one from Milena Panetta. Says that successful people don't wait to feel ready. Taking action creates the feeling of readiness and clarity. So this one just makes me giggle because we are a living example of not being ready and just getting started. Because we started the show a couple of years ago, we weren't ready. And there's many days we're still not fucking ready. But supporting MIT research, experimenting creates 3 times more clarity than planning. Guys, the Netflix broadcast yesterday. Netflix, okay, this is our second Christmas. Let's try some new shit. Oh, we could plan, do it next year. No, let's just fucking start. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Because, guys, readiness is not a prerequisite. Where, hey, Petro, where in the journey of life, where in our journey of life were we taught that readiness is, you got to get ready first? Really? No. Readiness is a byproduct of moving first. We talk about live, the framework we have here on the show. What is a leader? What is a leader, you guys? A leader is somebody who gets to the front before everybody else. A leader gets up first. A leader doesn't wait to be ready. No. The leader is the byproduct of moving first. Okay, I'm going first. So, again, I like to offer invitations to you. I like to make suggestions. You make the decisions, but here's 3 signals. It's time to move. You can't stop thinking about it. Waiting is getting expensive and you've outgrown where you are. And as Melissa says, getting ready to get ready. Yeah. How many of you are getting ready to start your New Year's resolutions January 1st? Really? Actually? No, actually. Why don't you start today? Maybe there's some value in starting today. Because clarity lives in the action you're currently avoiding. So guys. Guys. What are you waiting? What are you waiting to feel ready for that you should just start today? And as Petro says in the comments, you'll never be ready. How many of you guys are, okay, we're not ready to have kids yet. I'm just not ready to make the job switch. I'm just not ready to do this. No, you can prepare, but if you wait until you're completely ready, as our resident professor says, you'll likely never stop. So Melissa, Maya, what are you waiting for today that you should just start today? Maya, walk me out of here.
All right, nation, if you heard yourself in any of that, good. That's awareness, not shame. If you did it too early, learn. If you're dodging hard, train. If you're waiting, move. Drop it in chat. What's your next step today? No perfect plan, just motion. Follow the show on LinkedIn, Substack, YouTube, and tag someone who needs the push. Merry Christmas, nation. Now go earn your peace, not your excuses.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us today. What a fun show. Oh, I couldn't wait to get here today. I'm being really honest with you, Neiman. I couldn't wait to get here. I fucking love being here with you guys. I love it. I love being here with you guys daily. I see the impact we are having. I've been here on this show when I looked up at the numbers and there was 1 or 2 people there. Right now, I'm looking up on the screen. We got plenty more than 1 or 2 across all the different platforms. We covered a lot of ground today, from leadership mistakes and internet chaos to why isolation sneaks up on men, to how stories like Stranger Things hit a little closer to home than when we expect. Guys, the TV show Stranger Things has much more to do with reality than what you think. I'd invite you to check it out. We talked about relevance. We talked about getting older. Snoop, fucking on stage yesterday, cracking it up at the ripe old age of, what is he, 54, 57, authentic to the core, Snoop Dogg. We talked about that conversation about leaning into interests. We also came up with a reminder during Morning Focus. perspective changes over time, man, especially when it comes to your dad, and that you don't have forever to say the things you think, right, Spartacus? So, as I said earlier, my invitation, text your dad, call your dad, phone him today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait even an hour. If you're hearing this right now, pick up your phone and send him a text. So if this show gave you something to think about or just helped you start the day a little more grounded, that is a win. That is a win. Before you go, I have an ask for you. Here's my ask. Help us grow this show by hitting like. Help us grow this show by subscribing to the channel. And help us grow the show by continuing the conversation in the Mornings in the Lab community. Guys, we're going to be back Monday. Yep, 2 days from now, ready to kick off a brand new week. We got guests for most of the week next week. I know we got a guest on Monday through Wednesday, working on Thursday and Friday. Well, next week's New Year's next week too. Holy smokers. So guys, here's the thing. I got a little tip for you. If you're waiting to start your New Year's stuff next week, sorry, I'm going to say this to you guys. Don't be offended. Most motherfuckers are going to wait till January 1st, January 2nd. True story. So if you decide to get started today, you're ahead of the guys that are waiting till January 1st. If you get up tomorrow, don't hit the snooze button and get after it today, you are going to be the leader you want to be, and you're going to be ahead of everybody else that's waiting to get started January 1st. Guys, until then, do not hit the snooze button because you're snoozing on your life. I give you so many opportunities and it costs you nothing to get ahead. All you got to do is get up, get after it, and join us live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here, like Spartacus, like Good Time, like Holroyd, like John Petrocelli, like the entire crew, live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. We'll see you guys on Monday.